on that. But at the same time, I'm looking at some of these preseason games, just all these teams. Man, it's and part of it is because we're fiending for football. This is that time of year in between where, okay, baseball is winding down, and depending on your team, Rangers clearly they're not, and to me they came almost out of nowhere last year. But with all that being said, we're fiending for football, and you would like to ideally turn it on, and everybody's, we seeing.
The Browns can't. All I gotta say is, the Vikings head coach was saying the Browns are playing too physical for him.
And that's the other thing. That's the other thing is that they want to. Nobody wants to throw their real players out there because already, several teams have injuries to key players on their roster. Just from practice, and it happens every year.
Yeah, and it does too.
Yeah,
but
every year.
When you're practicing the first squad, they practiced. Cleveland's first team practiced all 5 days or all 4 days this week. Like I think they come back on Tuesday and they ran them all the way, and then they had two scrimmages against the Vikings.
Yeah,
and that when you're playing first against first, there, of course it's a little more refined because they're not letting them go full out.
Right.
But I was not impressed. Hopefully it's going to change today. But don't hold your breath.
Hopefully so. But again, no. And the other thing is, everybody's trying to dial it down because they don't want anybody to see what they have, so to speak. And so
they say that stuff every year.
Yeah.
We're going to scale it back because we don't want anybody to see what we got.
Yeah.
And then it comes out the first or second game. And they have to show what they got, and they ain't got nothing.
Well, I think that we're going to see some, because it's going to be very competitive there in the AFC anyway. And even I looked at our beloved Dallas Cowboys schedule, and their schedule's a little tougher than it was last year. And
the Browns are too.
So with that, we're gonna see some things. And of course, we'll start seeing first, second game season, and then the rust starts to really. The rust doesn't. They don't chip away all the rust till probably about the third game.
Yeah, that's about right.
Realistic the season itself, because as we wind down, you'll see a couple of preseason games where you see some starters out there, but it's still not the same. And the only way to really be in game shape and to refine your game is to play games. You can run, you can work out, and do all those things. But you don't get into game shape until you start playing games.
Mm-hmm.
And so with all that, it's hard for, especially these early preseason games. I don't put any stock in them.
Well, you only got one more left after today. There's only 3 preseasons now. And then you go into the regular season, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah. And then I'll be happy. I'll be happy to see that. And we get to see what happens. And, but rest assured, Cleveland's going to win that first one.
I hope.
Hey, you want to put money on it? You want to bet? Now, we don't have to put money, but we put something on it.
I'll bet you dinner when you come up here.
Okay. I'm taking Cleveland. I got Cleveland by. Well, I don't know what the spread. Hadn't really seen them play, so I wouldn't know what the spread would be. But I think that Cleveland's going to win that game at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Couple of reasons. First off, CD hadn't, CD and Dak. Man, those guys aren't signed yet. So we don't know what's going to happen. They still got Cooks in Dallas. I think Cleveland's roster is a lot more solid, and that Cleveland defense is going to be. They're going to be a pretty good defense this year. The defensive front. I don't know about the secondary. I don't think the defensive secondary for the Browns is going to be as good. But when you have a defensive front like they have, it helps out the secondary.
Let me tell you, I saw Miles in practice the other day. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a freak, man.
He's a beast.
Freak.
And he pulled this one move on this guy that he ended up almost running around him in circles. He pulled him down, took and moved around him like he was a ballerina. He was around this guy and back in front of him. Excuse me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that the Cleveland that defensive front is going to really be able to get after some quarterbacks, which helps out the secondary.
Yeah.
And now saying they're going to have 17 great games, the defensive front, no, they won't. And when they don't, I think the Cleveland secondary going to get exposed a little bit.
I want to see what happens with the.
That's because of that defensive front. Yeah, you watch.
I want to see what happens with Deshaun. I've been waiting on that.
Yeah.
And I also am wanting to see if Chubb is coming back, which supposedly he is. He's been practicing.
Yeah.
Not full out. Him and Deshaun are not. They're not allowing anybody to hit him yet. But I think once Deshaun gets nailed a couple of times, I think he'll be all right. That's coming, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about it. But anyway, what's going on with Dallas down there? How did their game? How did their game?
Lost in the last second.
Yeah. Well, looking at the kid, he hasn't. What's his name? The quarterback. Yeah.
Dak.
No, not Dak. The young kid they got from Frisco.
Oh,
Yeah. Trey Lance. Whoo, have a senior moment here. Looking at Trey Lance, and we know he's an athlete, but he just hadn't played much football. I still don't know what we have with him.
He was playing decent, though.
Well, he threw, 40 passes, 440 yards.
Wasn't he with Jacksonville?
He was with the 49ers.
Oh, I knew that name.
They gave up a lot to get him, and then once they got him, they were glad to get rid of him because they got Purdy.
Well,
and I think under the right situation, he's gonna be a good quarterback. But with Mike McCarthy, that's gonna be tough. Mike McCarthy is not really a quarterback's coach, first off. And then here in Dallas, we still don't know if Dallas can run football. I mean, they got old Zeke back, and guess what? Old Zeke is going to be
a third down
older
back.
than it was before.
Third down back and older than what?
Yeah,
I think it's
older than he was before.
and I wasn't impressed with that. I'm not that.
Another year older and deeper in debt.
Yeah. And so I don't think Dallas is going to be able to run the ball. I don't know about their offensive line. That has yet to be seen. It's not what it used to be. I don't know if it's going to be as good or not. I think Dallas's secondary is going to be decent. We should have Diggs coming back.
Diggs and Bland.
And Bland back there, who really has emerged as a pretty good guy, pretty good secondary guy. So we'll see what happens. We have a new defensive coordinator or cycle, but so we have to. We'll see what happens. But originally, I had Dallas at winning 9 games because I just don't know what their offense is going to be. And if you can't run the ball,
One about 10.
you have them at 10. Yeah, and so they could be.
Well, you get 9 or you
Another
get 10
one and
games,
done
you'll be
year.
in the playoffs.
Maybe at 9, but they could be another one and done in the playoffs again. I think they're another year destined to be middle of the road.
Yeah, as far as the Browns go, there's been a couple of pieces of news up here that don't actually affect them this year. They're fighting with the city of Cleveland as usual for trying to decide what they're going to do with the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Haslam has been rumored to say that he wants a dome. And the dome is probably going to be in Brook Park, which is some property. He's got 147 acres, 174 acres that he was looking at out there. And from what I understand, the way this is going, there's already been people wanting to buy the land around that so that they can put stores in that there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got mixed emotions about that whole thing. I understand wanting to get a dome stadium. I understand that the one that they're in right now is 30 years old. 30 years old, man. That last stadium that was there was 106 when they tore it down.
Yeah, look who's joining us.
Somebody's here?
Whoa!
Whoa, look at that. Good afternoon, Mr. Nate.
Hey, good afternoon there. A lot of technical difficulties today, y'all. A lot of technical difficulties.
It's all right.
We were just talking about your favorite players.
Uh-oh, talking about Baker, huh?
Not quite yet. We were talking about the, that's another one of the pieces of news I wanted to discuss with you guys anyway. Glad you come in, Nate.
What's going on with this?
Mr. Wonderful, Cooper, evidently got rumored that he was put in a trade situation and he was going to get traded to San Francisco. And his response was, "Oh, they don't want me here? All right, I'll go somewhere else. Don't matter."
I understand that. You know why this came about?
Why is that?
Because they hadn't signed Ayuk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Brandon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything in Cleveland short bus though, man. I mean, everything they got there. basketball, football, baseball. I mean, they just backwoods, dumb, and everything else, man. What's going on?
Well, what
Right.
and you're talking about a really good receiver, but if you can get something for him, I mean, he's not top receiver in the league anymore, but he's very, very. To say he's serviceable is an understatement.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best thing that they've had in a long time.
And boy, wasn't that? And that was a surprise to you too, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, he's the best thing since OBJ left.
And even better because he's there, he's available.
Well, he is now, though.
But the thing of it is with 49ers not being able to sign Brandon Ayuk, they are looking for a good receiver. And if they can get him and without giving up much, we'll see what happens, And hopefully Cleveland is going to say, okay, this dude is good. You're going to have to give me something to get him. And I understand his point. Okay, fine. If you don't want me here, yeah. To a player, you got, at that point now, he's at that point in his career that he knows it's the business.
Mhm.
And they're looking to see what they believe is best for the team. And
Who is? Talking about 49ers?
Cleveland.
Please, man.
And they're looking if they can upgrade, if they can move that money, get him. I mean, get another good piece for whatever reason. I don't know what piece they want, and then as of right now, there are going to be some receivers out there, some good ones. We got two big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very big names.
Yeah. They may be able to tap that Dallas well again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But the thing is, I say about Cleveland really is, they're not the brightest franchise in the world.
Well,
They aren't.
Several years ago, I would have said that, but not now. You got Andrew Berry that does all right here.
Well, you got to look at this, Nate. Look at what they gave up to get Cooper.
Listen here, though. Look what I'm saying, though. The reason why they accidented themselves into that. But look at everything. I mean, come on, man. Deshaun Watson, man. I mean, they're just a dumb franchise. I mean, they make decisions, man.
Okay.
And here's the difference. We're fans, okay? We're allowed to have errors in judgment as it pertains to who they should add or not add. But these guys getting paid millions of dollars, man, to make these kind of top level decisions based on talent and the direction of the team, right? And how it fit, all that stuff. How can I win? How it fits? All this. That's what they're doing. That's what they do. And look at it, man. It's a mess. It really is. It's not. They were so close a few years ago. They put so much energy in Baker until that was a waste. Okay, then they moved off of Baker. Okay, and I guess really, and of course, hindsight is it's perfect vision for us right now. They had a perfect opportunity. If they would have just waited a little while, they gave up a fortune to get Deshaun. They could have got a better quarterback. And well, Deshaun is going to have to show us something because right now it's not looking all that promising. Okay. And you got a ton of money. You tied a fortune up in this guy. Man, I mean, it's like robbery, man. This dude, man. It's robbery. I mean, it really is. His situation is the equivalent of Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. I mean, Ben Simmons in New Jersey.
Pump your brakes. Couple of things, okay? Did they see the injury in their crystal ball coming to Deshaun Watson? No. We didn't see that. Now, first, whoa, I'm not finished. I'll let you say what you had to say. Okay.
You can cut me off.
When they got Deshaun Watson he was what? Of quarterbacks, he was definitely at least number 2 at the time.
He was
He
out of
was
the league.
number 2. You can't make an argument of who was better than maybe Pat Mahomes.
He wasn't playing though when they got him, so he'd already been sitting
When
out.
he went out, he had been right. He had those deals, and we didn't know how hard they were going to come after him. Okay, now for all those allegations, but then he was injured. He wasn't healthy, so we don't know what he can be. Yeah, we don't even know. So, and at the time, like I say, when you say other quarterbacks, we don't know at the time. And then at the time, what was available? Oh, he was definitely the top go getter. Definitely. And those other top quarterbacks at the time, they weren't available.
I hear what you're saying, and I understand that. From if I'm looking at it from inside of if I'm looking at it as a fan, and I'm like, man, he's a really great quarterback, this, that, and the other. But as a person who is being paid to have a higher degree of know and understanding than a typical fan would have, that means that you have to be able to weigh in and place and more than an educated bet on how he's going to be able to integrate himself into the game, considering he's set out. You have to be able to take into consideration the potential risk based on the circumstances of what was going on. You have to be able to think about that stuff. Okay. I feel like, okay, I mean, and I get it. We're looking at it, hindsight is perfect vision. It looks to be an awful mistake now. Okay. But what I'm saying is, these are things that you have to be running through your head when you're considering giving a person this kind of money. All of these things should have been things that you were thinking about, that you were weighing, that you were contemplating possibles. And, if it happens this way, and if it doesn't happen, these should have been things that you were thinking about, and you should have been prepared to make an informed decision based on, the information that you had available. Because it wasn't like that he was totally cleared when Cleveland signed him. All the speculation, all the stuff about what's going to happen, there was a high degree of uncertainty. And the uncertainty turned out, materialized and became certain. And I'm saying these are things, though, as an executive getting paid that kind of money, you have to be thinking about that, as an organization. And then there were quarterbacks. What I'm saying is, in the pipe, Cleveland gave up a lot of draft compensation. They paid a fortune. I'm saying they basically, to hindsight again, I know it's perfect vision, they gave up way too much to get this guy, and I'm not sure that that it was necessary. I looking at it, I don't think that they were, quote unquote, they just outbid everybody and everybody else was like, like there were people throwing their bids in the ring. I don't think that there was that many suitors on the table now that's serious for him, considering those things that we're looking at. And I think that if had Cleveland not have paid so much, then maybe, okay, we have a chance to look at it, because we looked at Baker. Baker had a good year last year. He bounced back from his injury and he looked decent. Okay. Maybe Deshaun bounces back from his injury, all this sitting out time, and maybe he'll look decent. But will he return to, really good quarterback, great quarterback form? I'm not sure, because it's taken an awful long time. So, I mean, he does have, something else in, that he has to consider. He is getting older, Yeah, we know we have some anomalies with quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Some of them can play a long time and still be really good. But even Aaron wound up, having injuries later on.
But I'm waiting. That's where I was going.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm like, man, I'm like, I feel better with Justin Fields than Deshaun Watson. Let him make his mistakes and learn. I think they could have went with that.
All
I'm
right.
saying that,
Let's
I'm just
let's do a hypothetical here. Cleveland, when Cleveland drafted him, there was two or three other quarterbacks in the pike. The other thing to consider here is that there was four other teams that wanted Deshaun Watson.
Yes. Yes.
not really. They weren't serious.
They were.
Yes.
It came. I think it came down to three that were really after him, and Cleveland offered him the most money. And okay, so that being said, suppose he went to one of those other teams, would we be having this discussion right now about him?
We would be happy. That's the thing. That's the point.
We might. You know what? Okay. Mike. You know what Mike is? Mike's on a hen's hiney, man. Mike's on a chicken's butt.
But look, who's happy now?
Yeah, but
But
okay. Now let's say this. Supposedly he goes to one of those other teams. The injuries don't happen, and he's doing so. We can do all the ifs, ands, and buts, and candy and nuts all we want, So you don't know, but you take that risk. Now, to say this, okay, look at where they are with Deshaun. You know what? You know where Cleveland is? They're ahead of Dallas because you know what? Dak Prescott is about to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Is he the top quarterback in the NFL? Answer honestly.
He's a good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback.
He's a really good quarterback. Is he the top? Is he number one in your mind?
No.
Thank you.
But then again, that's stupid executives, though. I mean, if you're willing to give the
wait a minute.
Now,
I hear what you said. You criticizing the executive. You criticize the management there. But what are their options? They're gonna have to step way back because it ain't like you can just say, okay, you know what, Dak, now, you know what, hey, Pat, come over here and play for us. You can't do it that way.
No, but I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to make him the highest paid QB. You didn't do. Didn't do. Okay, here's why. Okay, think about it.
Somebody else will.
No, they won't.
Yes.
Let me look. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. Would you sit here and try to tell me that Dak is better than QB at Baltimore?
No.
No way. No, it ain't even a conversation.
Guess what? But
They didn't make him the highest paid quarterback when he got his bag.
Guess what? If Dak doesn't play, guess where Dallas is going to be then? Man, they're going to be probably naked but last.
He'll play.
Now,
and they already got his replacement there in waiting.
but his replacement isn't ready.
Well, but
if you throw 40 passes and you only throw for 140 yards, guess what?
I hear you. I hear you totally. But the point I'm making is consider the Aaron Rodgers and Love situation.
I agree. That was great.
They already have his replacement in waiting.
That was great. But you know what? He got to sit there and wait, watch, and learn, and he got to learn from Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't make Dak the highest paid QB. I don't think nobody will. And the reason because they didn't do it to Lamar. They didn't do it.
Guess what? But what I'm saying is this: if they don't pay Dak, they're gonna lose Dak.
I'm not sure they will.
Hey, there's gonna be other teams out there going after him. That is a very good quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that. Think about Lamar Jackson. Think about Lamar. How come nobody? Okay, think about Lamar. Everybody knows Lamar is better than Dak. Why was? Go ahead.
And you know what they did? But Lamar got paid very well. He got basically.
Yeah, but he didn't get everything he asked for. He got a nice bag, but he got his bag, but he did not wind up being the highest.
And I'm gonna tell you what they did. Now they won't say it up front, but they got together as owners and said, "We're not gonna do this, y'all.
And that's what I believe they would do.
Now, but Lamar's contract was a little different because all that guaranteed that he wanted. What's going to happen is that's the reason why every year you see a quarterback within that top 10 become the top paid quarterback.
Because they're stupid.
Because as the league, somebody's going to pay him. And then you have to start all over.
I'm not sure, but I'm saying this. This is what you got to look at. Nate, this is what you got to look at. Okay. You got Dak. Okay. All right. And let's see. He can play this year, but he's up for another contract. Now he can play it out, and Dak can take the chance, like he did before, of messing up his ankle, and he'll never be the same. Messing up his ankle, and he's done. Now, that's on Dak. If he decides, okay, I'm going to go ahead and play out this year for my money, that's very risky. Now, the other side of that is Dak is coming up on that last big contract. So Dak is doing what Dak is supposed to do. Now, if you don't sign Dak, the hypothetical, if you don't sign Dak, you have you got some players. You got Lamb, and Lamb wants top money. Lamb wants to be top paid receiver, and if you don't get it from Dallas, somebody's going to pay it. And Brandon Cooks is our number 2, and Brandon Cooks is a serviceable receiver. And Cooks is a small dude too. Okay. Now, and then we got our edge rusher. What's his name? The kid out of Penn State. Oh, geez, hell. God, dog, man, I'm going to get my mind checked out here. But those are the players you're going to lose because they're not going to say, oh, man, I'm not going to sign with this team to lose games. I'm going to go out there and make good money and play on a team that can potentially win. I want to win the Super Bowl. I want to be in the playoffs. If that goes down, Dallas does not make the playoffs. If that goes out, CeeDee Lamb goes down, they're not making the playoffs.
You're right. If Lamb in there, but the only potential they have for Lamb to sign, like I say, he definitely ain't gonna sign with Dallas if Dak is out.
Right.
So those are the things you have to consider. And then these other teams will be willing to pay him because we did the deal last year. And I think we all came up with where we ranked him, and we ranked him, we had him around 7 out of 32 teams. We had Dak at about 7. And then I went and looked. You know what? Most everybody's that was pretty agreeable. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback.
Yeah. I just think that the way they done Lamar Jackson, I'm not so sure Dak would be the highest paid QB. Man, I know we hear talking
every year. Somebody gets to be the highest paid, or just about every year, somebody gets to be the highest paid.
And that's true.
You realize Matthew Stafford was was the highest paid at for a moment.
Yeah, I just don't know if I don't know. And then Jerry Jones is a little special, so who knows what he'll do. Because if he's going to do that, he's basically wasting time. But I don't know.
If he loses him, he's wasting time because he's got to start all over.
Oh, well, yeah, because he's waiting a long time to make a decision, but he's wasting time. But I still don't know. I just don't see. I don't know. I don't see the door being kicked down for that. I just don't see.
Pay him, Nate. You got to look at these teams, Nate. He's probably going to wind up being the top. He'll be within the top 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more reasonable. I don't think that he'll wind up.
And the reason I say that is this: it's quarterbacks out there making more money than Pat Mahomes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Jordan Love just got paid.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't,
And guess what? If he got 55 a year, guess what? Dak is going to get more.
but I like Jordan Love better than Dak. That's the whole point.
Right.
I don't think Dak is better
But if you're a team that needs a quarterback and you need a good quarterback, and you can convince yourself that, okay, well, we can even run the ball. So guess what that does? If Dak if they can run the ball with Dak, you're going to be very dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know what's in Dallas's mind though. I guess they're trying to figure out how cheap they can get.
You speaking like you can go in and lowball the dude. No, we're not even going to pay.
No, I don't think you can lowball him, but I don't.
Guess
I don't
what?
think you can. I don't think you can lowball him, but he can't be the high. He's not going to be the highest paid QB. Mark my words.
If he won't, I bet he'll get more than Jordan Love.
I'm not sure.
But and when I say that, Jordan Love gets, what do you say, $55 million a year? Okay, that gets 56.
Not sure.
Nate, you watch. They're gonna have to at least match that.
Not sure.
Somebody will pay.
Yeah,
them.
they might match it, but I'm not sure he's.
I'm telling you, they will. They will. Nate, you don't understand how that works in the league.
Yeah, I do, but I do see
each one.
The reason why. Yeah, but the reason why I'm not so sure it will with him is because I'm considering what happened with Lamar. And Lamar is a far better QB. I would take Lamar. It's not even a decision. It's not a choice for me. I wouldn't even have to ponder it or think. They said, who you want, Lamar or Dak? It's not even, I'm not even thinking about it.
And you want to know what? What the big deal was with Lamar? It was how much guaranteed.
Well, that's the way of the market right now. These guys is cleaning up on guarantee.
Now, because you can structure it. And don't get me wrong, when they give them these big contracts, they don't get the money that they say. This is what it pays if you do everything perfectly. If you don't throw any interceptions, or you lead the league in touchdowns thrown, if you win the Super Bowl, this is what you're gonna get. Every year you're gonna get this, and this. Now, you miss games, you get injured, this happens, that happens. There's a bunch of ifs in all of them's contract. But what I was trying to tell him was he forgot how much money Matthew Stafford got at one point. And the market is what it is. And you know what? Every quarterback out there is pushing for Dak to get that big contract. You know why?
Right. I'm sure they are. But I'm not so sure. I'm just not so sure. I'm not sure it's going to happen for him. No, he's going to get it. He's going. Say it again.
Cowboys has got like 2 or 3 other guys they have to pay too.
Yes, and that's the thing. Yes. They got other guys now. They got CD and they got Michael Parsons. And my point is this: if you don't sign Dak, guess what? Guess who else you're not going to sign?
Well, if you don't sign, obviously, if you don't sign Parsons and CD, you're not signing Dak.
Yep.
And what I think is what they're trying to do is they're trying to see how little or how cheaply they can, get the other guys before they, so they know what they're going to do. But and for that reason, I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't see it working. I don't see it working out where he's going to wind up being the highest paid QB.
CD is a holdout so far.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't see it. That's why I do not see it working out for Dak to be the highest paid QB.
Oh, I bet he will. He'll be, if he's not the highest, trust me, he's going to get more than Lamar.
It's possible. Lamar really, man, they skate.
Okay. Like I said, he'll be one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league.
And of course they hustle Lamar.
He's going to make more than Lamar. He's going to make more than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but they, technically speaking, they may give him a Daniel Jones contract. But no, they're not. I know they're not.
But my point is, and the reason we went there is because you were criticizing Cleveland over the signing of
Shawn.
Watson. And in hindsight, yeah, it was a mistake. But the other thing you don't see the injuries. You don't see
And
all
that's
that.
true. You
Yeah.
don't.
And with that, or with these quarterbacks, you pull them in and say, hey, look, we need this money to sign so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. Now, if you're Aaron Rodgers type, Aaron Rodgers is like, I don't care about everybody else. I want my money. And guess what happened to the Jets? You saw what happened to them.
Yeah, one thing about the reason why the Deshaun Watson thing, the reason why it resonates with me as being, not a good decision is because of Cleveland's history with quarterbacks. It's not like, they've been balling out. Cleveland been striking out with QBs for a minute. It's been a long time. I mean, look at it. I mean, they've not had good success with quarterbacks.
Okay.
And that's the reason why it looks so bad. It's like at some point, man, if nothing else, man, get lucky. I mean, at some point.
You act like Cleveland's the only one that's had bad luck with quarterbacks, and it's not.
They're the only one I care about. Look
at Cincinnati. Man. Look at Cincinnati. How long has what's his name down there been in? I mean, let's get serious here. Look at Jacksonville.
Now,
look at Jacksonville.
Yes.
4 plays.
Got a great quarterback
after he got drafted, 4 plays, and he's out of the game for the rest of the year. Yeah, that's not the Cleveland's not the only one that gets this crap.
But
even the West Coast teams are doing that.
Yeah.
But look, let me ask you this though. Pat. Is Jacksonville's quarterback out this season?
Is Cleveland's? Not yet.
Questionably.
Oh, he's coming back, supposedly healthy.
Yeah, we'll see after isn't he supposed to play this? Is he going to play tonight?
No, he's not playing tonight. They're not going to play him until probably the last game. Cleveland hasn't played any of their starters. Cleveland hasn't played any of their starters.
But here's my thing. Look at this. Look at the way Jacksonville's quarterback was playing before he got hurt. Look at the way Cincinnati's quarterback was playing before he got hurt.
Oh, look, Cleveland was.
And look at the way Deshaun. You gonna try to tell me
Deshaun was playing while he was hurt?
He was playing decent while he was hurt. Yeah, he had a couple of really decent games. They weren't terrific. They weren't along the lines of
Trevor. They weren't. Yes, it wasn't like a Trevor Lawrence game. It wasn't like a Joe Burrow game. That's the point I'm making. Is these guys before they got hurt, they were balling out. I mean,
they were healthy.
And they were healthy. Cleveland's biggest mistake was taking him before he got all that legal crap taken care of.
That I can agree with.
That was Cleveland's biggest mistake there.
Right.
And I think if they had to do that over again, they probably wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Then Watson would have probably ended up with somewhere like New Orleans or
and you know what?
Who the hell else wanted him? Arizona, I think, wanted him.
If he'd have been in New Orleans with the defense that they had, we may have been looking at them in the Super Bowl had he stayed healthy. We talking about the ifs now.
Here's the thing, though. Here's my thing. This is where I think the management and they should do better. If I'm recruiting a guy, I know the guy's going to be on ice. Okay, you knew he was already on ice when you got him. Okay. I'm like, look, okay, yeah, we want you, but here's what you need to do. I know that you can't be around the team, but that doesn't mean you're not supposed to take care of yourself. So that when you're ready, you're ready to the degree that you can be. I get it. You're not in, I get it that you're not on the field playing, but you need to take care of yourself because there's no way no one can convince me that he came back.
He was. Well,
listen to me.
We don't know that he's taking care of himself.
Wait, let me finish. It's no way, no one will ever convince me that, you see, you making jokes about what he was doing to take care of himself. But I'm saying physically, his muscular wise and that type stuff, and being healthy, being healthy with his nutrition and all that stuff. I'm not talking about the kind of taking care of yourself y'all talking about. And so when I look at it like that, I believe that a lot of him getting hurt has to do with the way you step on the field.
Okay.
I can't help it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, and I say taking it. We don't know if he was taking before he wasn't taking care of himself. He pays to take care of him.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
This will be an outtake.
But he's getting taken care of. Hey man, he probably still is getting taken care of. And if happy ending is a happy ending. Now I'm gonna clean that up after that.
and yet another show going to the crapper on Crooked River Radio.
It's becoming a happy ending.
Okay. But no, in all seriously, we don't know what these players are doing. And then again, and we started this show, I don't know, you came in late, but Nate, okay, you played a lot of basketball. Okay. There's a difference. You can run all you want. You can go out there and shoot jump shots in the gym all you want. But being in game shape is different.
It's different. I agree.
Now, so we don't know what that man was doing. I don't think he was eating
we know what
hamburgers and drinking beer. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, allegedly we know what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. There you go. See, I was trying to get back. There you go. There you go. And he's taking care of himself, man. That's it. But
Oh boy.
anyway.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
On that happy note, let's
Oh boy.
let's take Shawn, you got the preseason stuff lined up there as far as the games.
Let me get it on here.
Oh my. While he's looking that up, I did want to take we were talking when you come in, Nate, we were talking about the new stadium that Cleveland is proposing or staying on the lakefront. Pretty much everybody that's a Browns fan knows that they've got the opportunity, and the city of Cleveland and the Haslams have been arguing for about the last month or so as to either stadium renovations or moving to a dome stadium in Brook Park. The dome stadium really looks nice. It's kind of going to have a glass roof to it that will supposedly retract. At least that's what the rumor has. As far as the city of Cleveland offered Haslam $539 million to renovate the current stadium and stay there. Now, the reason they're probably doing this is for lakefront development. They're trying to get or they've actually got a bunch of businesses that are coming in and wanting to take and be part of the Browns facility. Okay, now on the other side of this coin, Brook Park has made them an offer. The stadium would cost roughly $3 billion to build. It would be a state-of-the-art facility on 177 acres in I think it's in Brook Park.
Right there by the airport.
Right by the airport, right. It's there was a couple of Ford Motor facilities on that property. What that would entail would be Haslam would own his own parking, which is one of the things he's looking at. It would be a dome stadium and be available for other events other than football. There is enough property there that they could put little businesses, kind of similar to what they're doing with the Hall of Fame down here in Canton. They're building. They're going to make a little village out of it.
They can be like what they're doing down here with
Jerry's World.
Jerry's World and Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
And what the rumor has it that Haslam wants a dome, and I can see where that would go, and I could, as far as the city of Cleveland being their cheap ass selves that lost the team once back in the late '90s, I'm kind of mixed. I've kind of got a mixed feeling here. This one guy from one of the politicians comes on there. I think he was a councilman. Well, if Cleveland has been an outdoor stadium forever, and they ought to stay that way forever. Well, looking down the road here, and if Haslam stays there, he's probably going to have to sign another 15 or 30-year lease. And that stadium renovation that they want to do would probably be good for about 10 to 15 years. That's for the $589 million or whatever they offered him. Now, if he builds a new building, that thing's going to be around for a long time, especially if it's got businesses around it, which already, from what the news was saying, there's been people calling, trying to buy the land around where this new property is, and it's going to boom. So what do you do if you're Haslam? Do you stay on the lake and stay with tradition and we're an outside stadium and people the Ohioans are an outside people and they love that stadium outside and they love personally I think the guy was smoking some of the new marijuana that we were allowed to buy now.
Ohio needs to get with the times, man.
Agreed. It's going to happen. It's the inevitable. Or you lose another franchise, and probably with the way things go there, they'll move and win a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And my thing is, how restrictive is the code near the lake? Is that the thing that's preventing them from really going all out at the lake and saying, okay, you know what?
I think it's the money. I think
we're going to do a dome.
It's all about money. Ain't nothing funny.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, if you're going $3 billion for another site and for the lake, I'm like, why not go more even for the lake and then create a more elaborate facility at the lake? I think the people of Cleveland people excited about being at the lake. And I do see the fact that whole concept of water and expansion there, it's just something about it. It's exciting everywhere. But in terms of the dome, man, come on, man. People would love to. Yeah, people would love
to. Sporting events that are like your NCAAs.
It's going to bring other money there.
Yeah,
it's going to bring, right.
Concerts.
So should they do it? I say yes. Now,
my thing is, how come they can't?
It's going to be a burden on taxpayers. Yes.
How come you can't? How come the renovation for the lake can't be a dome renovation?
Because that stadium wasn't built that way. It wouldn't support a dome.
Tear it down.
They'd have to level it.
Exactly. You have to build a new one. That's going to cost more. But my thing is this: if they take that money and apply it to and let the owner, come up with their portion. And because if you look at again, Jerry Jones, not the best GM, proven, we talking 29 years or around 30 years since they won a Super Bowl. Okay, now, but the most profitable sports franchise ever. He is a great businessman. he has a dome here now, and it's nice. And he's found ways to continually bring in more money. So, with all that being said, I think it's first off, you got to come on, man. Let's get with the times, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There's technology. There's things that It's like me, man. I'm older now, man, and they're bringing in different things and they're doing on my job that I'm tired, man. I may not want to learn anymore, but you're around for so many years. But the thing of it is, I think it's the inevitable. If you want to continue to have a sports franchise, you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
We have our baseball stadium is enclosed now. You go in there, you ain't got to sit down in there, and this is Texas.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to sit down there in 105 degrees. You can sit in the air conditioning and watch baseball now.
Or in the rain, and it would help though, man, because we all know what the weather going to be like in Cleveland in the winter time. Man, you get that dome, man, and I also think it would be more attractive moving forward.
The other thing that was brought up would be if you don't do a dome stadium, you're not going to have a Super Bowl or any of the playoffs in Ohio, in Cleveland. And that's another thing I think Haslam's looking at. They've even involved the governor's supposed to be involved in this and everything else, which to me is
I think it'll happen. I think it's going to happen, and you just have to nowadays in order to compete. And let's face it, unless you like Jerry Jones as a businessman. If you tank, you can get money because of, your team is that bad. Or you got to win big. It's the other way. Now, Dallas, the one thing about them is they're still making more money than everybody else being mediocre. They're middle of the road. Let's face it. Cowboys are what?
I mean, they're better than mediocre. You figure they're a playoff team, So
a playoff team that's what?
First round, right? First round of
playoffs. That's middle of the road, man. If you don't make the playoffs, you're a losing team.
I'm going to step away for a second, do something. I'll be right back.
Fair enough.
You see what I'm saying, Nate?
Yeah, fair enough.
If you don't make the playoff, you're not even middle of the road.
I got another situation, with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
They just Cuban sold off the majority.
Yeah, he sold off majority. Yeah.
Well, you know what he's trying to do, though, right?
Yeah, trying to get the casino rights down here too.
Yeah, but he's also trying to position himself so that he can compete for that new Vegas franchise. So, because, LeBron James and company was trying to do that, but okay, he's got some restrictions. That or something flew away. He's got some restrictions though, because of, player. I can't remember, what exactly the specific.
Yeah. You're a player. You can't be.
He's got some restrictions. Yeah. But it's not like the franchise is coming, this year or whatever. So, they've got to and they want to help him out. They do, and to be honest, I think it would be exciting if he had one. But I think that Mark Cuban is positioning himself too for that potentially.
Probably so, but I think the big thing is they want to bring casinos here to the Dallas area. So I think he's looking at that. There was even rumored at one time that possibly politics was his aim, but I think it's more of the casinos.
And they got land out there in Irving, and right there at the old Dallas Stadium,
where the old Dallas Stadium was.
170 something acres there.
So what they're, this is the things they're looking at, but in all that, they're already talking about building a new stadium for the Mavericks.
My goodness.
And American Airlines isn't that old.
And they want to build a stadium, but it's going to go together with the casino. type deal.
Okay.
Wow. That's real.
So they're looking at, these guys trying to figure out how to make more money, but yeah, it is what it is. But, I just think that going back to Cleveland, that they will get them a new dome stadium.
Mhm.
They're going to.
Yeah,
It's time.
it is time. I do like, being at the lake, I think is cool and all that. But if you can't figure out a way to make it a dome at the lake.
Yeah. And then you got to consider Cleveland's still in a pretty good spot. They have one of the better coaching situations in the league.
Yeah,
They have, I think that they are in a good spot right now, and I think they need to move on it. And then again, like you say, it's hindsight's 2020. You're looking at things and you're saying, boom, okay, I want to win now. And that was their thought process with Lamar at the time. We was talking 1, 2, or 3 as far as quarterbacks go in the league at the time. We was talking he was at least number 3, and there were other franchises wanting him, and I think, he got so much guaranteed. And then you look at these things and you just look to see where things are.
Hey, switching up just a little bit. So what's your guys' take on the Olympics, man? Obviously the Curry flurry, but just in general, what was your take on the basketball competition, the Olympics, men's basketball?
I tell you what, I love it for the fact of a couple of things. First off, it shows you how much the game has grown. And you can appreciate, because now when you look at top players in the NBA, clearly we have a lot of them here, but we have a lot of them from other countries. And then there was this argument made, and these guys, they disagree with me. Hey, we was talking about that dream team versus this team. This team would beat the brakes off them.
Yeah,
not close. Not close. Yeah. Now, and I brought up a couple of things. Okay, well, since we're talking about that, there's no way. They had Bird, they had Magic, they had Jordan and all. Okay, we can go down forever saying Michael Jordan. You can make that argument of him being the greatest and all that, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. But my point is this. Okay, all right. Let's say Jordan the best player. You know who put up the best numbers on that 92 Dream Team?
Charles Barkley.
Yeah. Charles Barkley. Okay. Now, beyond that, okay, Bird was old. So was Magic. But Bird was actually finished. But Magic was old.
Yeah, Magic wasn't even, Magic wasn't even really in the league at the time. Remember, he was going through the whole HIV.
But he did go.
He did play, right? You're right.
Now, and I'm going to say this about it. Okay, first off, especially at that point in his career, and we can talk about this team. First off, okay, the league, if you go back, they've never seen anything like Kevin Durant. Now, they didn't see that back in the day.
No.
Steph Curry. We still marvel at this dude. LeBron James, and LeBron James is who was it? Was it Colin Cowell, or was it the Herd or someone? They described LeBron this way. And actually it was a great analogy. They described him as the Swiss Army knife of basketball. The greatest, because he just does everything good. He does everything at such a high level. Is he the best shooter? No. Is he the best, rebound? No. Is he, when you talk about assists, he's often close to there. But, the dude just does everything well.
Right.
Now, and then the Steph Curry flurry, come on, man. It is what it is. That boy, he can shoot from last week and make the shot.
Yeah, I thought that, I'm looking at all the controversy, the LeBron haters regarding MVP. I felt like, honestly, they should have split it. They should have gave it LeBron and Curry, because Curry was basically a no-show, and he was kind of sneaking up the place initially to the last 2 games, but the last 2 games was very important. So I felt like, they should have split it. But then, too, on top of that, you got to keep in mind, because of LeBron's nature, He played point guard the whole tournament. And instead of him being selfish, you know, he looked for Curry. Whereas, you know, you got a whole lot of players would have been playing in that role. They wouldn't have been looking for Curry. They would have been looking for their own bucket. So I felt like they should have split that. I was listening to Stephon Marbury. Of course, he's been a LeBron hater, you know, his whole life. You know, keep in mind, this is the guy that says Zion Williams is way better than Bron, and he's going to destroy him when he get in the league and all this, that, and the other bull. And but you know, he went hard on it. Stephen A went hard on it too. And of course, we know Stephen A again is, you know, he's a Jordan lover, he's a Jordan fanboy, and we get that. But I felt like I liked the Olympics, and it was tremendous, and the talent, like you say, over elsewhere, and it was just something special to see. And man, it was good basketball. And I'm glad it wasn't like the quote unquote days of the dream team where it was, you know, 40-point victories every night. I'm glad it wasn't that. Right? So I'm glad it was competitive, good games and stuff. I like that. But yeah, I was real excited about it. But, yeah, the whole Swiss
Army. You
Army.
can make the argument either way, Nate. Okay, maybe they should have gave it to Curry. I don't care. I really don't care. The thing of it is they went out there as a team, and that's but that's for the media to do that because they got to get clickbait. They got to get viewers. So you got to come up with a controversy. Controversy makes money. Controversy sells. It is what it is. Now, beyond that, guess who doesn't really care about that? Probably Curry and LeBron.
Yeah, I don't think they really care about it.
They don't care about that.
But they try to find a way to pit them two against one another. You know, because you got these old heads that can't, and it was surprised you got some new cats too, but most these old heads, they can't let that whole, I don't want to see football, basketball. I don't want to see the guys fighting. Man, it's a game, man. I don't care if it's a well-paid game. And at the end of the day, it's a game, man. And I don't want to see guys come on the court with vitriol in their blood. I don't want to see that. I want to see guys compete hard, go hard, be serious about it, take it serious. But know that it's a game, man. And life goes on after the game, even right after the game, right after the buzzer ring. I don't want to see that nonsense. Because it's like, here's what gets me about that philosophy. Everybody criticized Isaiah Thomas for not wanting to shake Jordan and Bull's hands when they beat him, right? When they left the court, when they left. Everybody criticized him for that. But then you go back and you say, oh, I like the way, oh, they didn't like one another. This sounds stupid to me. You're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Either you want the guys to dislike one another or you don't. What do you mean? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It makes no sense. So I didn't necessarily, the more I move away from that era, you know, in terms of that stuff, the more I don't like, you know, that stupidness, man. I don't want to see guys fighting, you know, at a game all the time. I don't want to see that. I want to see them play and compete hard, and that's what I want to see.
You know what Isaiah said, and I'm so glad he said what he said. He said this, and he said, you know, the game has evolved. The skill level of players today
is way better.
All in all, is way, way better. The skill level, you know, that was great to have the big man with his back toward the basket and blah, blah, this, that, and the other. But you know what? He playing basketball. He get paid to make baskets. Let him be able to shoot the dadgum ball.
Right, without breaking his neck.
Get able to dunk the ball. Don't get me wrong. Shaq was an anomaly. He's something that we'll probably never see again. He was a big athletic guy. He wasn't a shooter, but that dude was so athletic and physical. You know, he was big and stronger than everybody else, but he was athletic. And now, had Shaq, and he said it later, had he really worked on his craft, he didn't put in the work that these guys put in today. Now, but in all that, I hear what you're saying. And the other part of that is this, Nate. If you think about the old Dream Team, how many players did they play against that actually played in the NBA back in those days?
That's what I'm saying.
Versus how many today? And now we're talking top players. Right. Come on, man. Jokic is a bad dude.
Yeah, Jokic's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy.
He's a huge boy too, man. He's the biggest, baddest dude on the court, man.
Yeah. Now, if Embiid could stay healthy, all I got to say is that's a different animal. But because he's more athletic than Jokic. Now, but the other thing is this: when you look at it, look at Luka. Come on, man. You say what you want, but that's a bad dude.
Bad dude. No athleticism.
And it's so many, and we saw how them cats was not France, but the team before Serbia.
Serbia.
Man, you saw how them boys was shooting that ball, man.
But France could shoot that rock too, though. But Serbia could shoot that rock.
And Jokic, and I watched this. When they switched, they wanted to isolate Jokic on Durant. And if they could, they would get Bron on him because he made Jokic work harder.
Yeah, Bron was that boy's taller. Bron was an ox. Yeah, Bron
don't have enough. He ain't got enough marbles in his pocket, man.
Yo couldn't even move Bron, man. It wasn't working. It wasn't working for him.
It didn't work like now. He could turn and shoot over him if he got around.
Yeah, he could turn and shoot over him. But he could not move him.
He couldn't just back him down like he could do other players. People fail to realize. You talk about AD, and don't get me wrong, AD played well, but AD isn't as strong as Bron.
No, he ain't strong.
I like what D Wade said. He said, "Man, Bron, they probably talk about me and Bron." He's like, "Man, it take both of my legs to make one of his." This dude is, he is genetically gifted. He had genetically.
You heard what Karl Malone said about him. Karl Malone said, "Look, man, y'all haters just need to stop that, man. He is the greatest player of all time. This dude is my size with his ability, bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic than everybody, handle the ball." And he was just talking about it, man. Karl Malone was talking about it. About, man, please. And he is. He built like Karl Malone's size. And you're like, yeah, it's crazy. And of course, Bird, too. They were telling the old heads about, whatever. Bird, of course, Bird, like, man, look. He's the greatest player in the world, ever was. He's the greatest, So it's interesting, man, because them old heads that played, with Jordan, against Jordan, it's some of them that, like, oh, Jordan is this, that, and the other. And Jordan is a bad boy. But you know what, man? Ant-Man ain't nothing but the modern day Jordan.
Well, you know what?
He ain't there yet.
And why they're making this argument, why do they always forget about Kobe?
Yeah. And Kobe was Jordan. Man, I thought Kobe was no better.
That was Jordan. They can talk about Ant-Man all they want. He has not got there yet.
Yeah,
Kobe was Jordan.
Passed away.
Kobe had the Jordan mentality.
Yeah, he was Jordan. But he had a better handle than Jordan, too.
Yes.
But Kobe was...
He was a better... If you look at it from a basketball standpoint, he was better than Jordan. But Jordan is something here between the ears of a player like a Jordan and a Kobe. And to me, Kobe is the closest thing to Jordan. They can stop all his Ant-Man stuff. He hadn't arrived yet. He's a good player. And Ant-Man, I'm going to tell you what he is. Right now, Ant-Man is a human highlight.
Yeah, and that's all, he thinks a little more highly of himself than he ought to, if you ask me.
I think so too. Because
the Olympics, man. I'm like,
Kobe was a great defender. Kobe he could shoot. Kobe had the mentality, that Jordan mentality of, I'm fixing to show y'all so.
Ant-Man reminds me of the young Vince Carter.
That's what he reminds, similar to Vince Carter. And he hadn't arrived.
I can rock with that. Yeah. He
hadn't arrived there yet. But my point is this. And we will see. We'll see if he continues to work to get better. No. Because Kobe, to me, was the closest thing to Jordan. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I like Bron over Jordan because of the way things are now. And we can say a lot of things, but what they fail to realize is the competition that Jordan played against isn't his greatest competition, Bron.
I know, but that's what they sit there and want to front about, like, oh no, those dudes are better. No, they weren't. These guys are far better. These guys scored a rock, man. At the end of the day, what's the goal? You get the ball in the basket. And these guys can score that thing.
Yes. You go back, you look at the Reggie Millers and the Ray Allens. Those cats were some bad boys. Do they come close to Steph Curry?
No, look how many guys you got shooting the rock like that now. I mean, the whole league, man. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, so I'm like, I wish these. I don't know how these cats get.
There's guys that they don't even consider when they talk about great. Okay, we remember back in the day the way what's his name? Oh, he could Isaiah Thomas, the way he could do the ball and all that. Man, we have never seen anything like
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie.
Yeah,
we ain't never seen anything like that.
Yeah. Kyrie, Steph, handles is crazy,
Crawford. Man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
dude,
Crawford.
Man, it's different.
Really, Chris Paul. Yeah, these guys, man, got hands crazy. Ben Simmons got a mad handle, but too bad his mind is messed up now. Lost all his confidence.
Who's that?
Ben Simmons. Yeah, he got a crazy handle. But it's sad that, these cats, man, is stuck in the twilight zone. Man, what's wrong with y'all, man? Man, the game has evolved. Man. I'm like, come on, y'all.
All right. Do we want to go into the preseason predictions, or it's getting kind of late here? Well, you got time to go into it, Gordon? Nate?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm good.
All right. Let's get into the
talk to you after the show, Nate.
Yeah. Well, I'll take and try to record that so that we, this has been probably the lowest show that we've done in a long time.
We've had some fun on here today, and it's fun when you hear Nate. You missed too many.
I thought you were Pat. I didn't even know you were back because we went off talking about something else, man. I thought you were still yourself.
Oh, I've been here for the last 20 minutes.
Lord have mercy.
All right, let's get into the preseason stuff.
Okay. We got Atlanta and Baltimore.
And we're talking preseason, so
we talking
it's the wash
preseason.
anyway. We don't know what's what, but ideally we would say Baltimore, but we don't know who's playing.
I'd take Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't even care who playing. I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah. And I think Atlanta will probably win this game, but I'm gonna take Baltimore just because if it was the real season, we know what we'll have.
All right, Sean, who's next?
I can't see that. Whew.
All right, Cincinnati and Chicago.
I'm taking Chicago.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to take Chicago, because they're going to be right now. They're growing, still trying to figure it out. Got a lot of new pieces. They're trying to make sure everything is clicking. I'm going with Chicago.
I'll take Cincinnati.
Again, Giants at Houston.
I'm rocking with Houston, man.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'll take Houston.
Yeah. Everybody's going Houston there.
And again, this is just since this is preseason, these picks really don't count. But this is just practice.
Just getting ourselves warmed up.
Right. Because we don't even know who's all playing these games,
Right.
Detroit at Kansas City.
I'm taking.
Oh boy.
I'm taking Detroit because we don't know what KC is on the field, but I think that KC is really trying not to show any hand at anything.
I'm gonna take Detroit too. I think that what they did last year and everything like that, I think they're actually still the better team, even in the secondary or the second stringers and that. I'll take them.
I think Detroit is trying to continue to build momentum, and I think they need to. I think Kansas City already know what they're capable of doing, so I'm going with Detroit this preseason game. Yeah, Detroit.
And KC's out with their one receiver though too for a while, Marquise Brown. All right, Seattle at Tennessee.
Seattle at who?
Seattle was, I think they're dumb, so I'm definitely not going with them. Rolling with Tennessee. I think that they've demonstrated that they questionable. Rolling with Tennessee.
What, just because of their coach?
Just because of all of the decisions lately, I thought it was I don't even understand the even if you wanted to get rid of Russell Wilson, I didn't understand why they did it the way they did it. I think it was ignorant. And I don't see where they make any real or significant improvements. I don't think they're going to be anything. Don't matter where they put the starters in there or the backups in there.
So Seattle, they've been playing with Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Heck, he was one of the comeback players, man. He had a good run.
He's going to be their starter though too.
All right, I'll take him. Was it Seattle and what, Tennessee?
Yeah. Who you taking, Shawn?
I'll take Tennessee.
Tennessee? Okay. I'm going to do Tennessee as well.
All right, Arizona and Indianapolis.
Wow. Zona, man. Got their quarterback healthy, boy. You know he ain't going to be playing.
Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson.
I'm going to Indianapolis, man.
And you go with the rookie, huh?
Yeah, I'll take him.
He might play.
He might play. You got to get him some reps. But you know who ain't.
He's not a rookie. His second year.
But he ain't playing.
But he's still.
I'll do
it. You know Arizona ain't playing nobody right now.
Yeah.
So it's got to be
Arizona because just to see Marvin play.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the kid, Harrison.
You think Marvin might play?
Yeah.
And he might play.
Seen some of his practices already, man. He's been insane.
Man, it's too bad he couldn't have wound up in Cleveland.
Everybody else has. Cleveland is the Yankees of the Mideast or the Northeast.
All right. Arizona. What about you, Flynn?
I think I said I was taking
Indianapolis. Okay. And Nate.
Come on, man.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna roll with Arizona, even though I know it's gonna be Indianapolis. But I like Marvin Harris, so I'm hoping he plays. I'm really hoping. If he doesn't play, it's not going.
Yeah, talking about Marvin Harrison, did you see that kid that's the freshman for Ohio State?
I heard about him. What is he? You saw him?
He's going to be probably a starter already. Jemiah Smith. Okay. All right, next game. Dad, who did you want to go with, Arizona or Indianapolis?
I'll take Indy.
Okay. All right, next game, Washington at Miami.
I'm rolling with. I'm hoping Washington plays rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he plays. Yes, that's the thing, man. Like playing these guys, man. It's getting worse. And
I'm going Miami.
You know.
Yeah, the preseason is it's.
I don't think Miami's gonna be playing nothing.
As we always say, a lot of these guys gonna be sacking your groceries next week. You know.
Yeah, I'm thinking Miami ain't gonna be playing none of them thoroughbreds, man.
They not. Them dudes got so much speed out there.
Yeah, but Washington, they got to get a rhythm, man. You know, you got a new court, you got to get a rhythm. So I'm rolling with Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do Washington also.
Yeah, Yeah, that Daniels kid, the quarterback, looked pretty good in this first preseason game. All right, next game is Buffalo at Pitt.
I'm going with Pitt. I want to see give Justin a chance to get his whoa. He got a lot of pressure on him, man. I mean, undue pressure, man. It's like, hey, if you can't cut it, I'm like, man, that's kind of always understood, but to verbalize that kind of stuff, man, that make it hard for you, man.
And I know Buffalo's going to be a change of a lot of receivers this year too.
Give me Buffalo.
I'll take Buffalo.
Why, Pat?
Caught him off guard. Preseason.
Yeah, remember, Gordon, it's the preseason.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pittsburgh!
Next game is Jets at Carolina.
Wow. I think the Jets,
Jets. Yes.
Aaron is probably not. Didn't he say something? Didn't he say he said something about preseason? He's going to do something though, but we know what Carolina is.
Yeah, we know what Aaron is too. But I'm gonna take the Jets.
Carolina's trash, man.
I'm spitting him out early.
I don't think it matters who put on field. Carolina, man, they just garbage, man.
All right, next game. The Rams versus Chargers.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams. I don't want to see the cheater win.
I'll go with the Rams.
Oh boy.
And now that I'm completely not ready, Gordon.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pittsburgh!
Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks!
Now, there you go.
There you go. Well, man, it's football season. You're going to have to stay queued up now.
No, I didn't have those put in the sound effects. Both those strings are in there now.
All right, next is Tampa Bay at Jacksonville.
TB.
Huh. Stampa Bay, huh?
TB for me.
So you think that say Jacksonville ain't gonna play nobody? They're gonna let Trevor sit down?
Yeah. They're not gonna play him.
Think the Faker Mayfield gonna be there?
No, he's not. But it's preseason. I don't care. I really don't know. But
that's a hard pick for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Jacksonville.
Oh my! I want to say Tampa Bay, but I don't. I'll go with anything but Tampa Bay. So let's go with Jacksonville.
Okay. Being played at Jacksonville. I'm going with Jacksonville. All right. Dallas at Vegas.
They ain't got nobody on the field, man. Dallas can't go with them, man. They ain't got nobody. My goodness, man. They ain't signed nobody. Ain't nobody playing. Nah. Dallas, man, they can't.
Vegas is not much better.
what did you say? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Dallas is versus Vegas.
Just because it's Dallas, Vegas, baby.
Give me Vegas. Give me Vegas.
Okay.
They might suit up Jerry. Dallas, like, who gonna play, man?
If Dakota doesn't play, I'll have to go in for him, or maybe he can throw passes to me. I can pretend like I'm CD.
All right, it's Minnesota and Cleveland.
Oh boy. another one. Ain't nobody playing, but
Well, considering the DTR is going to start that game,
oh my goodness,
and they're going to say they're going to probably put Huntley in it for the second half, and he didn't impress me at all last week.
say I don't look no better than.
I'm kind of
I'm
kind of going on the Vikings this one.
yeah.
Cleveland
me
last
too.
week was I said this before you come in, Nate. Cleveland last week was a train wreck. It was a complete train wreck as far as the way they were being the coaching that was going on.
You know what? Now that you say that, yeah, I'm not taking Cleveland. You give me a Minnesota.
So I was really was gonna last week. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they disappointed me. So hopefully they'll do that this week.
Yeah, they did so much bonehead crap.
Cleveland was a complete train wreck last week, and unless they get their act together, it's probably going to stay that way. Or the Dallas of the North.
Yeah, and also I think that they should have. I get it. You want to roll with these young dudes, man, backup QBs, man. But they should have brought back Flacco, man.
Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
DTR was the best quarterback last week.
Yeah, I
That
think
doesn't
so
say
too.
that doesn't say
That
much.
doesn't say a whole lot, though.
Yeah, but he's been impressive in it.
We might win the first half,
Mm-hmm.
but when they put Huntley in there, I'm not. I wasn't impressed with him last week. For what little I saw of him.
All right. I tell you, the rookie that looked good last week was that receiver though, James Thrash.
All right.
From Minnesota for. I'm going to put it in. Yeah.
So,
And then Nate, who did you go with?
oh, Minnesota, man, can't go.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, they complete terrible. The quarterback.
All right, then the Sunday games are Green Bay at Denver.
Give me Denver.
Their quarterback looked pretty good for a rookie, that Bo Nix.
Okay, give me Denver too.
Yeah, because you know that Love is not playing.
Yeah. Who are you going with that?
Give me Denver.
Okay. All right, then the last game is New Orleans at San Fran.
Man, I think man, that's kind of interesting, man. San Fran's so loaded, man. I think that they bench is nice. I roll with San Fran.
Yeah.
I think
New Orleans is talking about trading Carr to Minnesota.
Wow.
Of McCarthy being hurt, the rookie.
I'll take San Francisco.
Okay. That's it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to talk about while Nate's here?
Just one thing I'm wondering. Just so how you guys just kind of early preseason? How do you guys think McCord's going to do at Syracuse?
I think he'll do all right, but he's not going to. He's going to be just a typical McCord.
I'm hoping he's going to be Bismo. I mean, I don't want him to leave Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll do all right, but it's not going to be like
It's not going to be like Joe Burrow leaving Ohio State.
All right, let's wrap this for today. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in today to watch us at our lowest point ever. As funny as though it may be, that one will go in the record books.
Yes, sir. I think this is a great show.
We will talk to everybody later on. Have a blessed week. Remember, coming up is the radioactive show tomorrow night. Ain't no telling what we'll get into over there. I have a couple ideas for topics, but nothing's firm yet. So, remember that's there from 7 to 9 tomorrow night. Monday night we've got Eric coming back with the nanosecond. There's some sports things he wanted to talk about, and I don't remember what the topic was he gave me, but it'll be interesting either way. And then, of course, coming back to tomorrow, we will we'll be back tomorrow afternoon or next Saturday morning / afternoon at 11 o'clock, more or less, and that'll be for 4 guys on sports here. So. Hey, Nate, good seeing you, bud. Glad you got in.
Good to be seen, man.
Good.
Technical difficulties. I'm gonna have to get me a new machine, man.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you back. And we get on here, and sometimes we have a lot of fun.
I gotta catch up, man. I missed a couple weeks, man.
I'm sorry. I apologize after the show now, man, because y'all know me. Nick knew right where
So I guess you didn't even know that it was a market for what Deshaun, that service. Like.
Anyway, y'all have a blessed week. We'll see everybody next week, and
we'll call you after the show.
we out of here.